Hey guys, what's up? It's Schla, coming back to ya with another episode of Car Rides with Schla. And I don't know. I mean, again, I don't know what I should say for positivity's sake, but it's still just another. We're still going through with the same thing. Things haven't really. I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore, I just have to keep trying to persevere through it. There's not really much of a... I don't know. It doesn't pay. It doesn't pay to... It just doesn't pay. It's kind of like the revolving point of... Even if what I'm going through is just like completely unrealistic and unreasonable, it's probably good training for me to try and be able to get through a day while there's this, completely just crazy, unreasonable situation that I have to deal with. I think that it's really, it's an exercise for sure. And it tests patience, but on one hand you could argue it ruins patience, but like I said, I'm trying to forgive. I'm trying to be forgiving even though there's zero logical reason for me to be. There's a lot. But I'm trying to just move past that because, like I said, focusing on my life and the good things that have happened to me is just paramount. Now, I did want to mention that today is August 22nd. Yeah, today's Friday. And something I kind of haven't been thinking about too much, but is definitely true and is definitely an issue, is that life for me will just kind of progressively get significantly worse now that it's the winter. So you've heard the debate often before, and it's this whole, thing about whether the winter's better or the summer's better. And personally, I like the cold more. The cold doesn't really faze me, whereas the heat does. I just don't like it. I don't like the heat. So to me, the cold, I've probably said this before, but to me, the cold, it feels alive. Cold feels refreshing. It feels living. And heat feels slow. It feels sluggish. It feels like death. It feels rotten. I can't stand putting the heat on in a car. I just can't stand that. It's just not... I don't know. It just feels like horrible to feel that thick, heavy, disgusting air. It just, oh my gosh, it's such a horrible experience for me any and every time I've even gone through with that. Having to put that silly heat on, there were times, basically last year, I wouldn't even put the heat on, and I basically, I think I was getting frost, well, I don't think I actually got frostbite, obviously, because, I would notice that, but I think I was really pushing it with how cold my feet were getting. It's pretty insane. I was really pushing it with the cold. And, I mean, there's different reasons for that, but the main thing is... Sorry, I just need to insert this real quick. It's another day where, like, I feel like, oh, today I'm going to be earlier than usual. I'm going to be on time. And then, like, no. Like, it's probably just going to be around the same time. Although I should be earlier than yesterday. I have a feeling, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm always like that in the morning. I'm like, oh, this time I'm going to be earlier. Oh my gosh. And then it just doesn't happen. Now I forget what I was talking about. I'm really ticked off about that. But I was so excited about the other thing, I just had to blurt that out. Now, the cold winter, frostbite, car, their thoughts are coming back. They're coming back to me in stages, guys. They're coming back in fragments. I was getting close to that. And it's just like, again, whenever I felt like a heater or something, it feels deathly. It feels like rotten. It feels thick. It is so bad. I mean, I never want heat, whereas the cold, it feels crisp. It feels refreshing. It feels lovely, So I wouldn't even put the heat on in the winter. Like, I had like a coat on and gloves and stuff, but obviously my feet would get like kind of cold, and it's probably going to start again. Like, it's probably going to start happening again because it is August 22nd, and before we know it, it's going to start getting cold again. Like, this is right around the corner. And as much as I love the winter, it's just, oh my gosh, it is just my favorite season. It's like my favorite vibe. See, even with that though, here's the thing that's interesting. I feel like a lot of people assert, I mean, you do have summer, spring, fall, winter, and obviously there are objective aesthetics associated with each, but I think there's also subjective. Like, everybody has their own opinion about each season and why it's their favorite, but even though it's similar, some people probably don't notice the full gauge of the aesthetic. Like, there might be certain things that, I don't know. I don't know how else to explain that. It's like, there might be a beauty in winter that somebody who hates winter doesn't really acknowledge or see or even know about, because people don't learn, they react. And I still see that, I still see that pretty often. It is insane to me, though, just how, like I said, I think with food particularly, I judge a lot of people because of the whole variety necessity. I mean, people, I just can't, like, I can't understand how much money people spend on food and how there's, like, all these rules about people get tired of this and, like, they need something different, and it honestly really frustrates me, and it just seems like very spoiled and immature. I mean, for most of life, you ate what you could get. You didn't have, like, this menu of things, and there are people who are poor who still are not eating like me. Like, they're eating like maniacs, And I get that there can be some criticism levied towards my diet, but it's ultimately, like, it's actually more affordable than I think a lot of things I could be doing. Like, I don't know. And I feel good on it, so I know, I have a feeling, like the cheapest way would be the rice and beans with vitamins or something. Like there's you probably, but you'd have to have vitamins. Like you can't, I don't know. No vitamins without meat is like really, that's just like insanity. And the amount of people who do that, it just says a lot. Right? Like that's the thing about humanity right now, and a lot of people are going through a lot, and they're going through a lot mentally because they're like critically malnourished. And I've just gotten to the point where I'm doing very well, and that's like, that part of it is not like, that's not why I'm not doing well. Like I actually as a person am in pretty, pretty good spirits. I'm pretty mindful of things. I'm just good. Like I don't know. The only thing is I do get a little bit over anxious about like optimization and, well, oh, by the way, my sleep was amazing last night. That was probably, at least based on the watch, like the best track night yet. And it was also like, I also feel better too. So there is correlation with that, and that's not even placebo. Like I got right out of bed, and yeah, it was all like instant. So yeah, I mean, there's merit to that. Oh my gosh. Like I have a feeling the tracking is probably pretty accurate, because wasn't it yesterday I had like, I woke up and I went back to sleep, which was strange. I woke up earlier than usual, and I noticed it, and I was tired. You guys could tell I was tired. I actually slept less. Like, I mean, I'll have to double check, because sometimes it doesn't track right when you go to sleep, so I'll have to like correct that. But yeah, like I'll have to double check. I'll definitely have to double check. But where was I? Yeah, like just to make sure, but it was probably still definitely just less total time asleep. And okay. He's like making the wrong turn. I mean, I guess you could do that. It's just like a harsher turn than what you're supposed to do. So I think there's merit to that. Now I completely forgot what I was talking about before. I hate how I do that, but I just can't help it. There's got to be merit to that, because I actually slept like probably about 20 minutes or 15 minutes less in total, but the quality of the sleep was amazing. I mean, I couldn't believe like when I saw it. Oh my gosh, it was good sleep. Like this was good sleep. So I think I definitely need to, I don't know. I don't know what I need to do, because again, a lot of the times night to night, it's like the same routine, and I don't know. Like I don't do that much different. But I do know, like, oh my gosh, it's true. Like nothing can replace good sleep, and I feel so good, and it's not placebo, because again, like I felt this way before looking at the watch, and I don't see how placebo would carry that far. I mean, you guys can tell some of these mornings, like I'm cranky, like I'm tired during these episodes, and I'm obviously not right now. Like I'm firing on all cylinders, like boom. If I could get that good sleep every night, that would just be like, I mean, like, oh my gosh, it would be miraculous. It would literally be miraculous. I cannot imagine like how far I would get in life. So it's still, I mean, it's obvious. Like it's the number one issue before diet, before health, any of that stuff. Now, that being said, my diet is very supportive to healthy sleep because there's, no plant anti-nutrients interfering with sleep. Like sometimes that happens. Like you have, and also with plants, there's a huge lack of B12, which is not good for melatonin. I mean, B12 is just, it's so important. Like even if you're not, like you have to take B12 if you're not on a meat-centered diet. I probably could take even more because it's one of like the least risky. I mean, maybe it wouldn't matter, but it's one of the least risky, like lowest overdose risk vitamins I think that there is. I don't really think there's any negative effect to just going crazy with B12. I'm going to stop being lazy though and start taking C. That has been very stupid that I just stopped doing that. Because I've heard the argument that you can take less C on a carnivore diet because you're not processing as much sugar, but still it's kind of makes sense to me. Like we can't make it ourselves, us monkeys and guinea pigs. So, I'm trying to get back into taking my iodine in the morning and my C. And those are like pretty important, just in general. So I just always get lazy with supplements. Like I said, I love them. I love the concept, the idea. It's such a like hobby and like interest for me, but I always get so lazy. Like I guess I don't like the concept. I know I like the concept. I don't like actually having to do the concept. I love researching into what the different supplements do, their effects, their names, all these details. I mean, I love researching things, but then when it comes to actually like taking them, it's like, oh, I've always hated it. My dad would always give me a vitamin as a kid, but when I was a teenager, I just stopped doing it. And that looking back, like that's very stupid because it was something they always tried to do because like it's supposed to be the right thing kind of thing. And I think they're right in retrospect, but at the time I was like a teenager being all rebellious and thinking like I don't need this anymore. But no, it's good to take a vitamin. It is. I wish I had better data. I really should get my blood tested to see what nutrients I'm actually lacking and what I should be supplementing more of and things like that. I mean, that would be very helpful, but I don't know. It is what it is, so. But yeah, I mean, I'm fine with saying I'm semi-carnivore. I don't know that I'm outright carnivore. And yeah, I don't know. I think like some plants are probably okay, but for the most part, still very carnivorous. I just, the way I felt, it's too good to like even, like I don't even know. I don't want to go back to another kind of diet because this has just been such a 100% positive experience, hands down. And whenever I would try to eat vegetables, it was never like that. It just never, I don't know, like it never seemed right. It didn't really, like I just don't know. You know what I mean? So it's a shame I forgot what I was talking about, but earlier, but this cold thing, yeah, like I always liked the cold, and I may have risked like frostbite in my feet because I wouldn't put the car heat on. It's like crazy, because I just don't like the way the heat feels, like the heat air. But cool air, like AC, I love AC. I always like cranked it when I first started driving, when I still had my Mini Cooper. I always just had like the AC on max, and then I realized that it uses a lot of gas, like it, and then I tried to stop that, and I would drive with the windows open in the summer instead of the AC. But I don't know. Now I think using the AC, like, it's probably just worth it. I mean, I have a feeling it's worse for the... Yeah, no, it's tricky, though, because especially when you're on the highway, having the windows open does reduce mile per gallon a little bit. I guess I just like the idea because it's more natural. But, like, I think it gets to a point where it just makes more sense just to use the AC. Like, I don't think it costs that much to fix, or, like, I don't know how often you even need to fix it. Especially with how I use it. Like, I don't do anything crazy. Like, just try to use it just enough to make things bearable. And especially now that I've been recording, obviously can't open the window. That would just be a joke. But yeah, I mean, what am I getting at, though? So it's going to be the winter again, and the winter is it's a much more difficult time to be alive. So I used to be very firm on liking the winter more, but I think that was when I didn't have to work. Like, if you have to wake up early for work, the winter is a disaster, and your car isn't garage kept, because you have to wake up very early and idle the car and run the, heat to get the ice off. Because if it's really early, like, you have to do that. You can't even scrape it off. Like, it's too stuck on there. Now, that's why even during school, or like if I guess if I was working like more regular hours, maybe I wouldn't be as perturbed by it, because the sun hits the glass and it really melts it a lot better. So yeah, it's hard to predict, but I can't see how we're going to get there like any particular amount earlier than usual. Now, what was I saying? Yeah, so it could be that, but that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, when I was a child and in school, and if we're talking about just like aesthetics and fantasy about it, I think the winter is my favorite. But I'm not like, I don't really care for Christmas too much. I'm kind of more of a Scrooge type of guy. I think I would be. I don't even know if, like, I'm not even remembering if that's his name. I think that's his name. I have to be getting that from somewhere. I don't know if I don't know, but I have to be getting that from, like, I just don't know. That has to be coming from somewhere. And I'm more of like the Christmas grump. Like, I don't see why we celebrate. Well, actually, no. I mean, no. I think I actually love holidays when it's serious. Like, I don't like shallow holidays, but I actually love, like, I don't know, ritualism and kind of like following day. Like, I don't know how to explain that. It's like, if there's a holiday but there's serious intent, I'm actually like pretty into it. Like, I love thinking that there's special days or special periods of time where there's like a different energy or something like that. I totally think that's cool. Like, to me, that seems like super cool, super important, all that stuff. And it's just like when you get to how society handles it, and like how society handles Christmas, it's just like the silly Christmas music and the, it's like too silly. Like, if it was a serious holiday, then I think I would like it more, because I do like, I like the idea that there are certain days that are special and things like that. I just think there's a lot of things associated maybe with holidays that I find frustrating or inefficient, such as gift giving, because I just don't like it. I know there's merit to it, but at the end of the day, I think that we know ourselves best, so like it's really tricky to get somebody else a good gift that they probably couldn't get a gift that's better for themselves. But I think that that's also kind of projection, because I have fairly like high standards when it comes to getting things, so I feel like I'm kind of like projecting that onto others, and it's a little bit frustrating, you know what I mean? Like because I guess I have high standards about it, and I don't want to let someone else down. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to say this in a clear way. For myself, like, I would want like a really good gift for myself, so I think to treat others in the same way. Like, I want to do that. Like, I want to make sure I give somebody else a gift that really rocks their world. And what I'm realizing is that a lot of people are just kind of simple when it comes to things like that. But the thing is, at the same time, now they're not, though. Because, like, some people, they are touched by, like, small gifts, but then I think with TikTok, it's like, I don't even know. I don't know. It might take a lot to impress people because their brains are fried out with that being the ultimate form of, I always think like that. It's very difficult to be grateful when you use a platform like that. I don't know how people, like, wow. It's terrible. It's seriously terrible. I've talked about that a million times, but yeah, hopefully 27 minutes in, maybe we'll finally get to the point that I was trying to make. So the point I was trying to make is that the winter, I love the winter, I love the vibes, but it's such a pain. Like, it's worse. Like, it's definitely, like, the cold is so much worse to deal with than the heat, especially really early in the morning. And like the cold is like gonna kill you, but in the summer in the morning it's like completely fine. Like, there's not even zero problems at all. Then, driving in the snow is a lot worse, obviously. And then the summer's just a lot easier. Like, the sun being out for longer is good. It makes things easier. It makes it easier to see driving with light out instead of just in the dark. And yeah, I don't know. It's kind of annoying because I don't get paid anymore to come to work in the winter, even though it's like a million times harder. I think that's a fairly reasonable thing. Yeah, not to mention you basically have to have like the defrost on the whole time, and like, there's a lot of things I think that are tricky. Like, it's just worse. Like, the winter is just harder to deal with. Just period. So yep, it's coming. So things are just kind of going to get worse probably from here on out. And I know that with all the positivity, it's not really good, but I don't know how else to articulate it. Like, I don't really know if I can kind of put like a positive spin on it, because I just think that's how it's going to be. I don't know. I just think that's it. Like, you can't manifest away nature. Maybe you can, and I'll try to find a way to enjoy it, but it is rougher. It's just rougher to work and you go to work, function, all that stuff in the winter. It is. But I will try to extract what I can from it. And we'll see how it goes. It's possible that traffic will be better. I've been hopeful of that because I think a lot of people change their schedules around to where, they don't, maybe some people don't drive as early because it's dark, for example. I don't really know. I mean, maybe that's just me getting my hopes up, but I'm just going to get my hopes up. I'm just going to think that traffic could be better. Or traffic will be better. I'm just going to get my hopes up. So yeah, I mean, maybe with school as well, it kind of changes traffic. Like maybe it clusters it more around the school hours because a lot of people might. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, there's so much. I mean, it's a shame that I deal with the struggles that I deal with, but besides that, my life is very good. It's good. I mean, I really can't, compared to what most people go through, it's just so good. My brain has been hard to, it's just so hard to find people who I can connect with. And it's a shame. Like I really want to, yeah, I don't know. And social is so important for health, to socialize. And I see social media as something with such a high potential for just good social interactions. And then it just doesn't shape up that way. I don't know. People are just horrible, honestly, on there. It's very crazy, and it's sad because there's actually more of a potential for connectedness through digital mediums. Okay, I was not taking my foot off the gas. Oh my gosh. Yeah, going off the exit. I usually do. I'm usually pretty chill, but I guess I was kind of into talking and kind of forgot. But I still, man, if I had so many days with this good sleep, I don't even know how I'm going to sleep tonight. I feel like I'm just going to stay up. I feel like my body's just going to have energy. I don't know how I'm going to do this, It's kind of crazy to think about. So, but yeah, we're doing well. All right, let's see. Have I fit? Yep, I've cracked the code. I've cracked the code of how this silly system is. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Of course, it doesn't matter when the next light gets you. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness. What am I gonna do? But yeah, I think I don't think I'd really have anything to complain about if I was more similar to other people. Because it's just, my life, it's just very good, right now. There's so much good to think about, so I have to just try to focus on the good. It's just, if anything, doesn't that make it more difficult? Because when you have such a good life, but then there's one part of it that's pretty bad. I just don't know. It's just, yeah, I guess it sticks out more. Also, yeah, we are going to make probably record time, so being a little bit silly with my whole, oh, well, we're not really going to be that much earlier. No, we are. That could just be because of a mixture of luck, and I mean, I sometimes hypothesize that traffic is less on Friday because just coincidentally a time when a lot of people take off. I'm not really sure, but could be a number of those reasons. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, we're still trucking through. This actually could be, though, because I'm looking at the time too. This could be like a record time for like getting here. I don't know if I was driving I think I was kind of driving like a little bit faster maybe, because there were certain situations where it was kind of like that I remember during this commute in. Like there were just certain situations that arose that were like, I don't know. There were certain situations that arose. All right. What am I saying? What situations arose? Oh yeah. There were certain points where it just became like I had to kind of drive faster than usual, I guess. Just because, I don't know, like somebody was behind me and they weren't merging, and they were just kind of, I mean, they weren't exactly tailgating, but they were, they were very close. And so that kind of makes me, drive like a little bit faster than I would if, there isn't somebody like semi-tailgating me. You know what I mean? So there's that. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm getting at. Oh yeah, well yeah, because it's why I think I got here late. Yeah, it's why I got here late. No, early. Wait, what am I saying? So I guess there's just like a million things going on in my head right now. I can't figure it out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where life's taking me anymore. Like, but I have to keep my head up and just try to keep like trucking along, because I still think there could be very good fortune awaiting. And like I said, I'm very interested in being more positive, because I don't really see the point in not being positive. Like, I don't see how that's particularly helpful in life. So, yeah, it's been Schla, but now it's time to buy Schla. So, see you, Schla.